If you're seeing this video, there's nothing wrong with you for wanting more for yourself, because complacency is not your calling. I've been channeling so much for this message. I really feel like this is the turnaround point for a lot of you. And I've been channeling the song How Far I'll Go from Moana soundtrack. And I feel like it's relevant for a lot of you. Good enough is not good enough anymore for you. So you are reaching this point where, again, complacency is not your calling. And my nose is already itching as I say that. Yeah, you're not in a place anymore where you are satisfied with the conditions that other people in your lives maybe once convinced you to believe was the end-all be-all. There's been an internal stirring for a lot of you where you recognize that your soul's resonance is calling you deeper, is calling you to go farther. And a lot of you are ready to answer the call. And I have been feeling like pretty emotional today. Like there's been a pit in my heart. And I think for a lot of you, you are also being pulled and you're being stirred up emotionally as well. And it's soul activation. It's not necessarily that you're just more emotional. You just are feeling, it's almost like the call of the void, you know, where for some people they experience this phenomenon where they're like overlooking an edge and they're high off the ground and something is pulling them to jump. There's just like this primal urge to want to jump. And that's kind of what I'm seeing for a lot of you. And it aligns with the song from Moana, you know, where you see where the line where the sky meets the sea and it's calling you. So you're right now being called to go deeper than you ever have thought possible for yourself. So you are a new version of yourself, this version of you that gets the thrill from thinking about going deeper than you ever have. This version of you used to like cower and shudder and crawl away from this idea of going deeper. And I'm getting for you guys, you know, you recognize now that this is your place, you know, in the new earth. This is your calling. Yeah, there's no more going back. You're taking flight right now. You're lifting off the ground. And I'm getting for a lot of you, you have been feeling this place of, it's like an elevation within yourself. So you're grounded, but at the same time, you're being lifted off the ground. Not even just literally, but, you know, metaphorically, you have really sensed this ascension. I'm getting for a lot of you, it could have felt like failure to launch for a little bit. You know, we have been coming out of this period with the full moon where I think for a lot of us, we were needing to release. My nose is itching like crazy. Like I kind of feel like I need to sneeze. So for some of you, you might have been feeling like you need to rapidly like expel things from your life. You've also been going inward. Whew. I don't know if somebody's dealing with allergies right now, but I've got like this sensation to sneeze all of a sudden. You're moving in action. And I think I said this last time, but you're moving in action right now. You might have had other people tell you, you know, there's just a light in your eyes now. Like you look different. You're moving different. You have this glow to you right now. So others may even be seeing this in your field at this time. You also might have had others come back into your life. I'm hearing complete the cycle. There might have been people recently that you made the decision to move on from, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be friendships, family, coworkers, colleagues. It could be exes, but you have made that decision, you know, this baggage can't come with me. because I identify it as baggage now, and it was weighing me down, and it can't come with me. I get for a lot of you, you've been in this place of trusting stillness. It's interesting because these are all themes that had come up like at the end of last year. And I almost see this as like the new checkpoint for you guys, where it's like you already are all that you have looked to become. And this is like your 3D checkpoint. So if you do notice that there are past energies coming up in your life, or maybe even, it doesn't have to be other people, but there's things, right? For some of you, I'm hearing that you have experienced recently like those old self-limiting beliefs. There have been challenges to your current beliefs that you've had to really get serious about recalibrating. For some of you, this could have looked like falling back into old habits, so habits that weren't necessarily serving for you. You've had to rebuild new relationships to those habits, is what I heard. What exactly? Wow. Seeing yourself as the conqueror of your past experiences. I heard that. You are the conqueror of your past experiences. There is nothing to conquer, though. Maybe it's feeling a little bit contradictory right now for some of you, how you're living your life. Not that it's the wrong place to be. Like, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, but it feels a little bit contradictory for some reason. I do want to pull some tarot today. Like, I know the last few messages have just been straight up channeling. I really do feel like there is, what's the word? There is value in pulling tarot today. I just feel like it would align with this collective. So I am going to do that. I kind of feel like you guys are sitting in the Four of Cups reverse energy. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like there's star energy as well. Nine of Swords energy. Like, you guys have flipped your perspective on your head, but it's not just because you've had like a great epiphany, but it's because you've been working in tandem to really make sure that you are co-signing on your own value, that you're recognizing the value of your essence. And because you've been working to do that, in turn, this has been shifting your experience of how you're perceiving yourself, okay? This is at the bottom of the deck. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. You guys are going through another activation. And what I'm hearing is be prepared for that to be your normal. Walking in the sun. I think for some of you, you are seeing yourself as like you don't even recognize yourself, but it's in a good way. Like, there is some recognition, but you don't even recognize like the past version of I'm trying to like word it in a way that makes sense, but it's hard to kind of explain. Like, you are now a version of yourself that you could not have even conjured within your 3D imagination. This is something that had to transpire, that was influenced by the 5D itself. Like, this is very divine transformation that is here, okay? So the reason that it feels so hard for you to comprehend at this time is because you are operating literally within another mode of existence. All right, let's see what else. What's here for my collective as they're undergoing this powerful transformation? What needs to come out today? Let's see. We got the 10 of Cups in the reverse. Okay. I know it can feel like that is not like the most positive card to start off with, But what I'm getting from this is that you guys are no longer interested in fulfilling the aspects of you that do not align with your highest self. Okay? So there might have been a lot of energy that this is like, I think this is the energetic shift where you guys were too focused on pouring into cups of the versions of you that needed to be released, that needed to be moved away. And this is a 10, right? So the new cycle begins. That's what I'm hearing. Wow, the Tower is literally at the bottom of the deck. So that just confirms, right? You guys are amassing a great period of revelation about wow, spaces where your previous self was costing this current version of yourself. I heard the math ain't mathin'. So a lot of you got to this place where you're like, this actually isn't it. This isn't where I'm meant to be. And I think a lot of times we realize that. Yeah, confirmation. I think a lot of times we realize that, but we don't feel that there is like, a lot of times we look to this external source of confirmation that something needs to change. You know what I mean? Like even you all like viewing these messages, right? Viewing your favorite YouTubers' messages or just trusting that whatever's meant to find you will find you. I think you all have gotten to a place where you're no longer assigning relevance to your external for validation. You're moving different in your relationship to your like external forms of influence, if that makes sense. So it's no longer outside of you. It's no longer this force that is outside of you that's making changes. It's really who you are internally. You're starting to realize that the external isn't just the external. It's an extension of who you are. So you watching these messages right now, it's literally just a version of your higher self that is here to present this information to you. Okay, because if this is resonating with you, I saw 1212 as I say that. So 1212 might be significant for some of you. But if this is resonating for you, this message is your higher self and they are communing with the version that you are right now, because this is who you are. This isn't just let me have validation that something real is happening. It's already happening. You don't need the validation. You're here right now because this is where you are. This isn't to give you proof that this is happening. It just is happening. That's why you're receiving this message, okay? Let's see what else is here. We got temperance, yeah. Yeah, you guys are coming into this version of yourself, like I said, where one part of you does not need to be stronger than the other parts of you. Like for example, like the healed part of you, or like the enlightened part. Am I saying that right? The enlightened part of you. You're not second guessing the place that those parts of you hold, and you're not placing emphasis on one over the other. Does that make sense? You're actually balancing out all your energy to create this beautifully magnetic and abundant version of yourself at this time, 1333 as I say that, because you are moving in alignment with yourself right now, in harmony. You're really doing what is being asked of you at this time, and the call is coming from inside the house is what I heard. So again, it just further affirms that the external forms of accountability or inspiration that you were seeking at one point, those have been integrated within you at this time. You're not looking outside of yourself for the answers. We have the Queen of Wands. Let me see here. We have the Queen of Wands. Let me see if these wanted to come out in the reverse. Okay. So we have the Two of Shells in the upright. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I think you guys have gotten really like certain of what it is right now that you're wanting and what you're creating, and those two aspects are working in harmony with each other right now. So you're not really confused about what needs to be done or what it's going to take for you to get to where you want to be. like you feel really sure about yourself and what you're bringing into this new world right now at this time. Even if you still have aspects of your old self that are emerging, just know that there is a clearing that is meant to take place. So it's okay if aspects from your past come up. They likely will. But you might see that you're moving in ways now where there just isn't as much weight to this past version of yourself. So when it's coming back around, it's kind of like, I see a whirlpool, you know what I mean? So like as things go, like I see a drain as well too. So like when things start to go down the drain, what's happening, right? They're circulating. So you're gonna see something show up more than once. As it's being lifted and removed from your field, it's gonna come back around. And it's not to test you. It's just because sometimes the momentum of things, it happens in such a way that it's, yeah, the human brain isn't going to just like forget about something completely, right? That's still part of your human experience that brings these things back into your awareness. But what I'm hearing at this time is it's not a factor for you guys, okay? So even if it's present, it's not holding weight. I think with the Queen of Wands here, again, like you guys are in a place where the action that you're taking right now is so self-assured. Like you don't need anything else to prove to you that this needs to take place or that it's happening. You already know that it's happening, and that's why it's showing up in your reality as action right now, because you have this inner authority that you're carrying for yourself. This kind of reminds me of Temperance, like the Two of Cups. You're still really in this place where you found alignment within yourself. So much so that like people understand the depth of the relationship that you have with yourself just by looking at you, literally just by existing in the same space as somebody at the same time. Like they can feel it emitting and radiating off of you. You're a very divine creator is what I wanted to say. Divine source of creation. Yeah, you're undergoing a transition right now. So we have transformation here. Wow, so there's a cicada on this card. And that is actually a perfect way to describe what you guys are undergoing, because sure, we can look at, you know, as like a cicada, they molt their skin, their shell. It doesn't necessarily mean that like the molting of them isn't going to exist, right? That shell's still going to be present as matter and material in 3D reality. But the essence of that living being no longer exists within that representation of what used to be. Does that make sense? So even if there are aspects of yourself that are still showing up in the 3D, okay, so like, yeah, there's still space for that matter to be taken up, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the version of you living within that matter. Does that make sense? This is like very specific, but I think if you get it, you're going to get it. You're going to be able to distinguish what aspects of yourself are the new you, the now you, versus aspects of the old you. You know, the you that still very much was working to integrate into your highest self, okay? Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come out. Space could be really significant for someone. I don't know why that popped into my head, but I think for some of you, you're very interested in space, or you've been using space a lot as like metaphors for maybe some of the transitions you've been undergoing lately. Stars, yeah. Star Wars could be significant for somebody. Angels and demons. Maybe it's like the battle of like the devil on your shoulder, the angel on your shoulder. That could represent duality for some of you. For some of you, you might have the yin and yang tattooed onto you, or something that represents duality. I don't know why I heard Igor. That could be relevant for somebody. I heard a door like slamming just now. For some of you, like you have made some pretty I would say like what your previous self would consider to be radical decisions, but they're self-honoring. Now I can rest. I would definitely give yourself permission to rest right now. Your physical vessel needs it. The Schumann resonance has been blacking out as well. So like we are feeling that from a energetic frequency level. Like that's definitely resonating. Having like trouble speaking a little bit today, but my throat chakra is very open. I just think there's aspects of ourselves that just need time to catch up with the 4-dimensional versions of ourselves. So you might be why do I want to keep saying relevating? I don't even think that's a word, but it might feel relevant to you. That might resonate with you. That is so interesting. Like maybe like revelation, like you're having a revelation, or maybe like Revelation's the book of the Bible. For some of you, that might be important. I see the Hermit here. Yeah, again, I'm getting for a lot of you, you've just taken this time it's kind of like being in the valley of, not the shadow of death, but like the valley of silence. Protecting your peace. So you've kind of been hidden in plain sight. And like there's a little bit of a restlessness as I say that. Shifting gears, moving forward. You know how like when you shift gears on a car sometimes, and depending on the car's transmission, you can kind of feel like you're being like jolted forward. I'm getting that that's relevant for a lot of you too. You're kind of being like thrusted into this new space. Picture this. Maybe some of you have been looking through pictures. Either it's like of yourself, like when you were younger, or like recent pictures of you, just to kind of compare. Like, even I look different. You know, you might be considering that as well. I saw the 6 of Wands. Yeah. You guys are going to be recognized at a pretty grand mass scale is what I wanted to say. I feel like my words are kind of running together, and honestly, I think it's perfect because yes, I may not be saying everything perfectly, 2244 as I say that, but I think you guys are resonating with me perfectly, my energy, right? Like the transmission is transmitting to you, okay? Yeah, take heart. I have overcome. I'm not what I have done. I'm what I've overcome. Wow. Yeah. That's powerful. I would listen to the song How Far I'll Go. If you haven't, it might spark something within you. I think that's it, y'all. Red might be a really significant color for a lot of you. You might have been feeling the pull towards red things, or like wearing red, maybe wearing red jewelry, like red jasper. Maybe the sacral chakra. Or the root chakra. Keep focusing on your breath work, that life force energy. For some of you, I grabbed my cards just now and they like all flipped out. That was crazy. I kind of feel like I'm in between dimensions right now. That could resonate for some of you, but it's like my earthly body is desperately trying to cling on to something, and I feel like I'm here, but I'm also like operating in a completely different dimension. So for some of you, you might resonate with that. Yeah. There's big shifts that are underway at this moment as we speak. The world was at the bottom of the deck. I think that's going to be the message. I did want to pull one oracle card for you guys from the Starseed Oracle, just because I feel like there's something here today with this deck. So let me see. What does the collective need to know today? What does the collective need to know? And I would like just one card for the collective today. Cracked open. Wow. Rock bottom. Surrender to the alchemy of life. That is such a trippy card. Can you guys see that? Wow. It's almost like there's like interdimensional versions of you that are fusing together at this time. That's literally what I saw in my third eye. Let's see what this says. Okay. Don't let the weight and density of the world squash your tender spirit. Instead, let it call even more of it home into your body at the center front of your life. It's through the extreme pressure of life's trials that diamonds are cultivated. It's when things are at their darkest that we cultivate proper faith and our light is ignited. It's through the crumbling that we can allow our wounds to be alchemized. Let your pain, sorrow, and losses make you, not break you. Let life alchemize your tragedies into gold. Be open to being cracked open, wide open. It's the difficult times that help us grow in leaps and bounds and in ways we could only dream were possible. But first, they have to crack us open. Sometimes it hurts like hell. It's nature's way. Whether you let it happen or not, it's going to happen. So surrender to the process. It's how the light gets in. When your heart cracks open, a space is created for your soul to more fully enter. When your soul cracks open, a space is created for the grace of the Holy Spirit to enter. Let your trials, your sorrows, your pains, and your losses transform you into more and more of yourself. Stay open to the possibility that your tragedies, your losses, your sorrows, and your hurt happened for you, not to you. Bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. Surrender to the alchemy of life. How can you let life crack you open? I think that'll resonate for some of you, and that's okay. You know, that's kind of like what the pressure of my chest, I feel it's almost like something is bursting to get open. So even if you're feeling like you're falling apart, trust that it's not that you're falling apart. You literally could just be getting cracked open right now. And I think that's major confirmation, because I itch right here when I'm receiving like a pretty big download. So trust that the things that you're feeling that could feel like despair right now are not for despair. They're actually for your highest transformation of good, okay? And I only channel, you know, the energies that resonate with all beings of the frequencies, the highest frequencies of love and light, okay? So this is for your highest good. I only transmit messages that are of the most abundant forms of love and peace and prosperity for my collective. So if this resonated for you, I would love to hear about what's been undergoing transformation in your life lately. As always, if this did resonate and you want to go deeper, there will be a link in the description below for a personal reading. If you want to book with me, we can see kind of more of what this general energy is being directed towards for you on a personal level. And as soon as I finished the message, I started, and it was like about to rain. It's been raining a lot here, but it's so sunny now. There's so much, it seems like a clearance that just happened. Like we were in a portal as I was reading for you guys. So that could resonate for some of you. So yeah, I'm going to leave the message here. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for your support and for being here with me, and just continue to trust that you are being cracked open in the ways that you need. Like there is a version of you that is fully surrendering to this right now, and your higher self is present for this, okay? Just trust that. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.